Hello, I'm
Yay!
here.
I'm so glad.
Look, I have earphones and I think they have a microphone. I don't know. Can you tell me?
Ah, loud and clear.
Look, tell me if sounds like a microphone.
No,
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Now does it?
no,
Okay, and now hold on. When I cover it up, does it?
no difference.
No. So it's still going through the computer. Wait, hold on for a second.
Pretend you're up properly.
Have a little boy beside me.
No.
Prepare to be disturbed. Not really disturbed, but you know what I mean. Hopefully not
My
too disturbed.
that's okay. That's okay. My screen on my lower left says Amba Ireland.
Yeah, I had to change it to Amber Ireland for something now. I don't know how to change it back. I'll have to try and change it back.
Hmm. So glad to see you.
Yeah, so lovely to see you too.
So I was thinking this morning while I was reading the last 15 verses or so of this chapter we were reading last week that just the term knowledge as something that separate I, am to possess was a bit of a trip up.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
and now?
instead, if it's something I am, that I am that,
Yeah,
then the tension goes away. It
yeah,
becomes not so much something to wrestle with as something to just let it wash over.
yeah,
Beautiful.
exactly.
Hmm. You're good.
Yeah,
Good.
good.
I'm just getting the chapter up on my phone.
Chapter 28, isn't it?
I believe so. We
We said
the
we'd
last
continue from the middle, I think.
the last verse we read was chapter 43, if I'm remembering right. It was all about a sandalwood tree, and then we were moving on from there.
Okay.
Is there some other place that your intuition is saying, let's jump in here?
No,
Okay.
my intuition is very quiet. Doesn't say anything.
It's not saying much today.
Well, I don't know, sometimes just probably. Okay. After passing through listening and reflection, in order to overcome all counter thoughts, one should be in continuous, profound contemplation, continuously, night and day, obliterating all states of mind of different categories. The continuing state of mind of all being of a single category is the dualityless, profound, continuous meditation. By this, all the distorted notions about the goal will disappear. That could sound a bit complicated if you start trying to understand it. Oh, I feel, but it literally just means just like just rest in your
Mm,
being. So it's really very simple. It just means don't be giving your attention to your mind. There's no need. That's what continuous meditation is. You're just resting in your being. That's continuous meditation.
mm,
And then you're not doing anything. It's the same like that. It's not like you're doing meditation. It's really just that meditative state is here or something like that. And it doesn't even mean thoughts can't be here. Thoughts can still be here. It's just that they don't they're not taken. We're not giving them attention.
Mm.
Yeah. You know, there's like thousands of words in spirituality, and they're all pointing to something like super simple, like the most obvious thing that just goes completely overlooked because it's so obvious.
Mm.
The uninterrupted state of mind of a single category is the daily, continuous conviction, attitude, feeling of being Brahman. That I am Brahman, Brahman is myself, and I am all, without any trace of the state of mind of multiple categories, which looks upon the world, the supreme I, this and others each as different. If one practices this conviction assiduously, all distortions will disappear forever. As the attitude of disbelief that is talked about first gets removed by daily appropriate listening, as the attitude of silent doubt gets removed by daily exertion of reflection, and as the distorted attitudes are destroyed by constant profound meditation, the perpetual nature of the presence of the Supreme Brahman will pervade the placid mind. The perfectly full sentience, reflected in the state of mind, that is totally dissolved like the solute in the solvent, in the Supreme Brahman, which is of the nature of consciousness, with all sheets of the veil of dark ignorance removed, with no trace of notions of duality, and abiding in the motionless bliss of the Supreme Brahman, with none of the inimical influences that cause bondage, is indeed the universal awareness.
We have to look at the word inimical,
Yeah,
if I can. What does that mean?
no idea.
Inimical, tending to obstruct or harm.
With none
So
of the
with
inimical influences that cause bondage.
right, right. It's basically harmful.
Hmm.
Mm.
So what's that? Some idea or something?
Hmm. Desire.
Yeah,
I've got survival. I've got to be someone.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
It is such a state of mind that is the shining, undivided state. The knowledge that gets spotlessly reflected in this state is the undivided, supreme, direct experience. It is those who attain this state of undivided, direct experience that become the liberated. I say this in the name of both sacred feet of the Lord. There is no doubt about what is said. Thus have I explained the undivided meaning of the three great aphorisms, which are but one single essence. I shall tell you further about the meaning of the great aphorism, this self is Brahman. In that statement, which admits of nothing different, the three words are I am, this, Atma, self, Brahma, Brahman. Listen carefully to the meaning of each of these three words. Will I continue?
Love it.
Yeah, good. The direct meaning of the word this, I am, is the visible individual jiva with its conditionings by ignorance, in brackets. The direct meaning of the word Atma, self, is the Lord with conditionings by Maya illusion. The indicated meaning of these two words is the pure individual and the Lord, both without any conditionings. The identity of the indirect meanings of these two words is the meaning of the word Brahman. That sounds like really wordy. I mean, like there's like so many words.
Yeah, yeah.
It feels like wordy when I'm reading it.
This is the fourth of the four aphorisms in this super long
Mm,
chapter.
yeah.
And my sense was it's the most accessible somehow.
This self is Brahman.
Hmm.
Like, I feel like just the sentence is enough. Without breaking it down, like when you start trying to break it down, it's like, whoa. That's a kind. I don't know. At least
Well,
in my mind, it's a kind of like some minds need maybe, but it's kind of complicating it. I think it's very straightforward, just as a
hmm.
sentence in itself.
Yeah, and well, I mean, parsing, right? What is the chapter doing? It's parsing the aphorism, which is, strikes to me as a mental function.
Mm. By understanding the meaning of the undivided identity, indicated by this aphorism as explained, and negating all the conditionings of the supreme and the individual by due inquiry, and daily assiduously practicing the knowledge that I am of the nature of the undivided absolute, as understood from what has just been said, ever enjoy unforgettably your real nature, the meaning of the undivided, which you have forgotten.
Mm. And there, as you said, knowledge, I put identity. Yeah, I mean, I just swapped it out.
The knowledge that I am.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Here again another way of explaining the great meaning of this aphorism, the self-luminous, indwelling self of the nature of consciousness, untouched by the least trace of darkness, is the meaning of the two words, this self, I am Atma. The prime cause of this non-existent world is the meaning of the word Brahman, Brahma. I love that. The prime cause of this non-existent world.
Hmm.
Mhm. The differenceless identity of the indirect meaning of all these sanctified words is the meaning of the aphorism, negating by due inquiry all the direct and indirect meanings, contributing to the differences between the individual and the supreme, as arising out of the conditionings, ever experience the meaning of the undivided nature that remains, as already explained. I have told you in full, according to the exposition of Shiva, the differenceless identity of the meaning of the undivided, of the four great aphorisms occurring in the Rig and other Vedas, so that all your misapprehensions of differences are removed. Practice this in depth as explained, and ever enjoy as your own nature the blemishless, the established meaning of the undivided.
Once in satsang, more than 20 years ago, Hanuman said, the human condition is to lead a conditioned life. Somehow, I don't know where he got it, but I never forgot it.
Yeah.
My my head is nodding like I have a great big yes.
That's good.
Should I read a couple?
Yeah.
The aphorism that you are by itself is a statement that ordains. The delusionless aphorism absolute knowledge is Brahman is a statement for practice through reflection. The aphorism this self is Brahman is a statement that confirms all these. The aphorism I am Brahman is a great statement of awareness. Hence, by understanding the meaning of the undivided, by the statement that you are, by differenceless reflection on the great statement, absolute knowledge is Brahman, by accepting as true the statement that this self is Brahman, enjoy the meaning of the undivided as explained by the statement, I am Brahman. I just want to agree that that's a lot of statements.
Yeah. Yes.
So I think in the next one, he simplifies a bit. Always practicing the conviction of the undivided absolute described by the sentence, I am Brahman, and by that beneficent conviction, destroying all attachment to names and forms, and rid of all connection with faulty duality, and experiencing the blemishless meaning of the undivided, abide as the very nature of that meaning of the undivided, which has nothing else beside it. Knowing so is indeed liberation. The word liberation is somehow very, very magical.
Yay.
There is never anything else other than the meaning of the undivided, which is the nature of one's own self. Whatever else is seen is all false. Even that falsity, when inquired into, is indeed the undivided supreme Brahman, with nothing apart. There is no doubt of what is now said. Attaining the knowledge of the meaning of the undivided as explained, become liberated and abide as the nature of the pure absolute. So as I read that, it felt like personhood started to sort of melt. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
personhood is.
Yeah.
In the faultless way in which the Lord of the nature of bliss and awareness has explained, I have declared the highly secret meaning, the essence of the crest of all the Vedas, which is so rare to come by. Those who hear and understand this in the way explained here will, rid of all the adverse bondages of mundane existence, abide as the nature of the undifferentiated. It's much easier when Amba's here to abide as the undifferentiated absolute.
They say like when two come together in my name, there I am.
There you go. So this is verse 60. 60. Only those who ceaselessly worship with fervor the Lord of all the world, the Supreme Lord, and obtain his grace will, with purified hearts, experience unimpededly the true nature of the great aphorisms and become their natural selves. Thus Ribu graciously explained the meaning of all the great aphorisms to Nataka. I saved the very last verse for you, 61.
What do you mean for me to read?
Hmm.
It is the perfectly full form of our Lord in a state of truly joyous dance, alone with Devi, that strongly proclaims. Those who have known the pure identity of the Supreme and the individual, through the great aphorisms that are the means of definition of these entities, will be established as that reality of eternal bliss, without a trace of this circumscribing sorrow of worldly existence.
Hmm. Beautiful.
It's all good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's the translation. Oh my god. It's all good. Fear not.
Hmm. So much energy comes from the palms.
Yeah, so you say. You know, like Yogi Ramsarat Kumar used to do like this.
Hold your hands in. They're cut off by the camera. There you go. Oh, beautiful.
You're stuck in it. Like I'll have some, I'll have some of that.
Nice.
But it is, our hands are very magical. Our own hands, you can get a blessing from your own hands. Like I used to feel like that, like if I was tired or upset, I used to like pet myself like this.
Oh, nice.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
and I felt, but I didn't feel like it was me doing it. I felt like
Mm.
some other, like at that time, I think I was into like angels or like some kind of higher beings, you know, that kind of thing. So like I
Hmm.
used to think that they were like doing it through me, and I felt like they were. Like I didn't feel like I was doing it to myself.
Oh, nice. It
And I
seems
just,
to have worked.
yeah, I feel like just hands are very healing, you know, because this is
Mm.
what we use from when we're very small, isn't it? To like reach out into the world, kind of. So, mm. I just prefer to not know anything about
It's
anything.
just to not know anything about anything.
Yeah, I actually find like I find great peace in like not knowing things
Oh.
and just
Mm.
like not wanting to know. And sometimes the mind wants to know things, or sometimes even sometimes you can get an insight and it can feel like a true knowing in that moment. but still, even to not hold on to that, and to just be free of knowing about things.
If I could
Mm.
translate that,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I would
it's,
what I would no, what I would say is grasping. Wanting is grasping.
yeah, yeah,
Wanting is desire, wishing. Something
yeah,
that's not as it already is.
yeah. It's like
Mm,
it's totally not even needed, like that you say grasping and like knowing, they're kind of the same thing because like all that kind of knowing, it's about like one thing knowing another thing, but that's not
mm,
real. Like that doesn't exist really. Like none
mm,
of that is real because there is no one thing and another thing. Like what this chapter is pointing to. It's like there is no differences. It's
mm.
like all is just myself alone. So to know one thing, knowing something else, it's like that's totally made up. Like there's no need for that. So of course it would be stressful. Like it brings feeling of like at least here, but like some people that's not like that. Some people love to know things and they don't feel stressed about it. So that's I don't know.
When I first started towards college in 1980, I wanted to know what went on in your brain as you were meditating and becoming enlightened.
Mm,
And I've recently discovered energy psychology that includes emotional freedom technique.
mm,
And one of the big players, his name is Dawson Church,
mm.
has just published a book called Bliss Brain.
Okay, good.
And he breaks down, how brain activity um, really maintains a certain level, but the emphasis on different areas of the brain
Mm,
change as you meditate. And he's got
mm,
a 15-minute meditation that
mm,
involves breathing through your heart and,
mm,
imagining love flowing in. And
mm,
you pick a place or a person you want to envelop in love. And it's a
mm,
beautiful 15-minute process that I've been doing all week prior to sitting quietly for a half hour.
mm.
And it's really lifted a lot of, I would just call it wanting, just to carry on
Yeah,
the terms that we've been.
right.
It's made it easier to move through the day.
Mm, sounds good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And emotional freedom technique is just so ridiculously easy. You're just tapping on, a few spots on your body. Are you familiar?
Yeah, I spent a few months doing it, like all
Ah,
the
there you
time.
go. Okay,
I was like a
okay.
lunatic going around. This is a long time ago. I was like I remember walking through the city centre, like just like all day. Like, I literally did it like all the time for like 3 months. And then I did it at other times as well, but literally like pretty much a lot of the time. Obviously not all the time, but I did it a lot of the time just walking around for like 3 months.
You must have noticed some really subtle things going on then.
Yeah, I remember feeling it was good.
Mhm.
Hmm,
Yeah, seems healthy. Seems
yeah.
healthy. Yeah, yeah. Nice to sort of come back around and
Mm,
have the universe just sort of answer.
mm,
Here's what you've been looking for. It's very
yeah,
satisfying.
yeah.
Yeah, and from this side, it looks like retirement is getting closer. It's
Oh, well
nice.
done.
Yeah, and
Sounds
we're
good.
in July. It's very looking like the next step is to book the flight. It's very close.
Oh, wow. That's really
Mhm.
close.
Well, it's to book the flight to go visit. So
To
we're going to
Portugal?
be, yeah, we're going to be scouting, Portugal and Germany.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And there's a part of me going, okay, well, what shall we do? Going to have whole days to fill, right?
Yeah.
And the answer coming back is that there will be a period of transition.
Mm,
And that means that, nothing has to be decided, which is just really
mm,
beautiful.
mm.
Mm.
Sure, it will be absolutely beautiful.
So this one, I I would say probably the hardest chapter, the hardest part of the Song of Ribu is now behind us.
Yeah.
So we're going to be into next one is 29. I thought 29 was actually 26. Ramana's favorite.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how I got them confused, but I read 29 and I thought, oh,
Yeah.
this is Ramana's favorite. It's a very
Yeah.
special chapter.
Well, nines and sixes are very similar. They're just like
There you
upside
go.
down. So,
Who knew?
yeah, exactly.
So and then after that into the 30s, and chapter 32 is very special.
Yeah, I really like to do. I can't remember what's in it, but I remember liking it.
I have a theory, and my
Mm,
theory is that that's where Ramana got the "Who am I?" question that
uh,
he brought back to life for modern times,
mm,
because there is that question in there.
uh,
Yeah, so I think maybe Ramana read it there and amplified it for everyone.
yeah. Mm,
Just want to say a final goodbye to the story of the unworthy one. It's a story that used to be told over here,
yeah.
very often. And
Mm,
that unworthy one, not only
mm.
is he long gone, but he never really existed. So
Yeah,
good riddance.
yeah. Mm. Unworthy of what?
um,
Anything.
Love, validation, usefulness,
Mm,
all those things.
mm,
Can't, can't be part of the group.
mm,
Doesn't belong here. Yeah.
mm. I
Mm.
find sometimes the body can be a bit slow in catching up. Like we know it totally, see the truth, the truth, and even feel it and experience it. But like the information hasn't gotten around to all the cells or something. I don't really know exactly, but like the information hasn't gotten around everywhere. So like I find in myself anyway, every now and again, or more than every now and again sometimes, like old things are coming up. But because there's a deeper part of us that is the truth, and we know that now. It's when those old parts come up, it's much more able to, I don't know, like hold it or integrate it or just allow it to pass through. I don't know what
Mm.
words, but like, yeah, so like I would never really say to myself, no, I could say it to myself, but like I have said it to myself, and then I see that it's wrong, but I can't ever right now. I can't believe that, like I can't really say that nothing will come again or that thing won't come again, because when I've done that in the past, like I actually have felt like that. Like felt like I think all my conditioning is gone. I think it's just gone.
Okay.
I felt like that because like I just had like a long periods of time just feeling bliss, love, and like really seeing really clearly, and like nothing is coming. But then like kind of feeling like, yeah, it's just feels like it's just gone. Like it's gone. And then like life's like, yeah, really? Okay. And then gives you a bit more time, and then boom. And then something comes like, how are you gonna deal with this? But like I kind of, yeah, like does I don't feel like that's like a bad thing
Mm.
necessarily. It's just that seems to be what, well, I mean, every life story is probably different.
Mm.
But I do hear other people saying something similar to that as well, that it
Mm.
can happen, and it definitely happens here. So
Mm.
like my whole body mind system is definitely a bit slow.
Mm. Mm.
And maybe as well, I kind of feel like even our body mind is not really separate from other body minds. Like there isn't really a separation. Like, so it's just like if I'm feeling my own, what seemingly my own being and my own conditioning, it's really just consciousness in a way. And it's like conditioned consciousness. So like, I don't know, like as long as there is a world, maybe there is conditioned consciousness somewhere. So there's always something that can be experienced that's not truth, so that can be then brought into truth or something. And it's not necessarily mine, it doesn't belong to me because there is no me for it to belong to anyway. Like, and even sometimes maybe we recognize that there's no me, but yeah, it's still belonging to the idea of me. But like, that doesn't really, for me, it's all just like everything is just, it's just consciousness,
Mm,
like
mm,
it's not like, so whatever is, like you might say, I see this, and like we all see that. We all see unworthiness. We probably all see everything that there is. It's like that's what it is to be human. Is
mm.
like, mm, and maybe it's like, at least here it feels like learning to be okay with being human.
Mm,
Like sometimes spirituality can be all about recognizing the spiritual aspect and our divine nature, which is really what this is pointing to. But in a way, it's also, in a way, it does say it, but it says it in a very spiritual way. But it's kind of really, our human nature is the same. Like our human nature is also our spiritual nature, but yeah, our human nature is so kind of hurt, isn't it? Like it's all like your friend Hanneman said, like the human condition is to live as a conditioned human. So whatever. So like,
Close enough. Yeah, that's
yeah,
that's the essence of it. Yeah.
yeah, something like that. So it's like, it's just, yeah, to be human. So like, real spirituality is almost about embracing our humanity as well, and not necessarily trying to get over, and to just be like in bliss like all the time. I don't feel like that's what's being asked of us. Everyone just talks from their own perception, and you know there's probably a million different perceptions. That's in
Mm.
this in this perception, and how I
W-
see the way the world is. And
Well, certainly, I know it's not always blissful, but I like me some bliss.
yeah,
That's really true.
yeah, yeah, we all do. We all do. But the bliss is here, underlying everything. Like,
Mm.
bliss is another name for ourselves when we don't
I
have
love,
an idea.
and yeah, and I loved how you called it the perfume,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
the the outpouring of whether it's recognition or
Mm,
stopping effort or ending suffering.
mm,
The bliss just sort of comes as a result of that.
mm,
Beautiful.
mm.
Shall we stop here and take this with us?
Yes. We have
Well, I'm
nowhere else
really.
to put it. This is us. This is my
Well,
little bad
I hope,
jokes. I used
but
to
I
hate
hope.
when people told, sorry, I used to hate when people told bad jokes, like bad advice jokes and all. And now, like, I just find myself doing it all the time. It's like, oh, like, I just comes out, and then like have to have a little cringe moment. Oh, God.
Well, and my daughters will call them dad jokes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, dad. Well, I hope your little guy gets some kind of a treat for being so patient for with us.
Yeah, yeah. But this is his tree. He's watching PJ Masks. He's really happy.
Oh, right on.
He's
Okay,
really quite content.
good, good.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Until next time. Cheers. Bye.